All right, welcome to Around the World of Sports right here on ASN Sports TV. And my name is Sam Bon, your anchorman. First of all, I want to say congratulations or thank you to Afrocentric TV for nominating me to be among those that will win the award in the sports personality category. So if you want me to bring that award home, let's go to afrocentrictv.com and vote for Sam Bono as the Sports Personality of the Year in the Afrocentric TV Award coming up on October 28th here in Houston, Texas. So the link is on my Facebook wall, and also go to afrocentrictv.com and vote Simon Bono as your Sports Personality of the Year. And also, I want to a big shout out to my homeboy Don Pintus. Today is his birthday, 9/11. What a day for my guy, 9/11 birthday. Happy birthday, Don Pintus, and enjoy your day. Yes, welcome to Around the World of Sports right here on ASN Sports TV. Because the AFCON qualification matches is ongoing here across the African continent, and a lot of teams have picked up ticket for the AFCON 2023. We just 124 days away from the biggest soccer showpiece on the African continent in coming up in Ivory Coast, and I will be right there. I will be there for sure. To bring to my esteemed viewers and audience all that will transpire in Ivory Coast at the 2023 African Cup of Nations. 124 days to go. Are you excited? How excited are you for the AFCON? Yes, Nigeria yesterday thumped Sao Tome and Principe 6-0. Victor Osimhen got a hat trick. Awoniyi, Ademola Lookman, and Samuel Chukwueze were all on the score sheet for the Spikers of Nigeria as they ran riot against Sao Tome and Principe in their qualification. Nigeria are already there. And Coach Jose Pesero, full of smiles, he made Nigeria. Listen, if you are a coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the only way to buy Nigerians' heart is to make sure that the Super Eagles of Nigeria win their games. And when they win in a resounding fashion, in fact, you've captured their heart. After the man that occupies the Aso Rock, the next thing that Nigerians are so much, care about is who is the coach of the Super Eagles. I'm telling you. After the man that occupies the Aso Rock, that's the president of Nigeria, the next thing that Nigerians are so much invested in is who will lead the national team. Because soccer is one sport that brings us all together, regardless of your ethnicity or your political inclination. So right now, the Eagles are making Nigerians smile. When we look at the Eagles front line, doesn't that scare you as an opponent? Taiwo Awoniyi doing it great for Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. Victor Osimhen, highest goal scorer in the Serie A last season, and he started this season from where he left off. Lookman Ademola doing it big. Samuel Chukwueze, AC Milan doing it big also. Aren't you scared to face the Super Eagles of Nigeria with their attacking front line? I don't know, but if I'm an opponent coach, I would be really scared about that. So the Eagles of Nigeria resounding one against Sao Tome. A lot of teams are picking up tickets. Congo, DR, Mauritania all booked their AFCON ticket. What a game. Mozambique also returned back to the African Cup of Nations after almost over a decade of absence. Now they are back to the biggest soccer showpiece in Africa. And also, we have to commiserate with our brothers in Morocco because of the earthquake that happened that claimed over 80 lives. And CAF had to postpone the match between Morocco and Liberia, the AFCON qualifiers. So Morocco are going through a lot right now. So as an African brother, we have to commiserate with them in what is happening. So that is what we have for you coming from the African continent. Now, let me come back to the MLS, because from the Around the World of Sports, now we go into around the Major League Soccer. All right, let's go now to Around the MLS with Sam Bono right here on ASN Sports TV. because MLS will return this weekend, March day 31, as we, in the home stretch of the league, 7 games to go, and a lot of teams are picking up points right now with playoff in the horizon. Dynamo in the last game got a goalless draw in LA Galaxy, and they will be at home to St. Louis, who drew 2-2 in one of the outstanding matches. Samuel Adeniro cannot stop scoring for St. Louis. He was on target this week when St. Louis played one of their outstanding matches, even though that game ended 2-2. But Adeniro was on target. And also, who will win the 2023 Golden Boot here in the MLS? We have players who have scored goals. We have the reigning MVP, Hani Mukhtar, 14 goals this season. We have the captain of FC Cincinnati, Luciano Acosta, 13 goals this season. We have players who have scored double-digit goals this season. So who will the cap fit? We don't know. Just like Bob Marley said, who the cap fit? Let him wear it. Apart from that, a lot of coaching change have happened within this season, from Portland Timbers to New England Revolution to Colorado Rapids. A lot of coaching changes have happened. To Toronto Football Club, to Chicago Fire was the first to do that. New York Red Bulls followed suit when they fired Gerard Struber. But his own wasn't as a result of, I think it was the way he handled a situation at the Red Bulls that got him fired. So we look into that. Coaches who have lost their job this season in the MLS. And on today's edition of Around the MLS with Sam, right here on ASN Sports TV. So put your seatbelt. Let us go after this timeout. You're welcome back to the program. This is still Around the MLS with Sam Bono right here on ASN Sports TV as we take you on a jolly ride around the world of the Major League Soccer. All right, let's go straight to who will win the Golden Boot here in the MLS. 7 games to go. A lot of teams have put themselves in that position to pick playoff ticket, but we sure know that the top teams in both East and Western Conference will surely make it to the MLS playoff. Now, let's look at who do you think will win the Golden Boot. Let me start with Hani Mukhtar of Nashville. 7 games to go, 14 goals and 8 assists. Their next game is against Sporting Kansas. Yes, Hani Mukhtar has been remarkably consistent in his 4 MLS seasons with Nashville. He has scored 57 goals with 35 assists across 106 regular season matches, and that includes 23 goals and 11 assists he got last season. So Hani Mukhtar has been productive for Nashville in the last 4 seasons. And also, he is the reigning MVP. So do you think that Hani Mukhtar will retain his crown as a Golden Boot winner and also as the MVP? Because we have Luciano Acosta of FC Cincinnati hot on his heels. 13 goals and 11 assists. Cincinnati next game is at Philadelphia Union, and we have 7 games to go. When you look at Acosta's performance, he has been one of the driving force for Pat Noonan's side, and also as they are pushing to win the MLS Supporters Shield. He has won MLS Player of the Month award consecutively 2 months. And do you think he will extend that to win the Golden Boot and to win the MVP? 13 goals and 11 assists for Luciano Acosta. The number 3 is Alan Pulido, striker for Sporting Kansas. Despite Sporting Kansas wishy-washy, type of the way they started the season. Alan Pulido has racked up 13 goals and 3 assists for Sporting Kansas this season. Despite their wobbly, shaky form this season, Sporting KC are 12th in the Western Conference, 32 points from 28 games, and Alan Pulido can account for 13 of their goals this season. Sporting Kansas' next game is on September 16th at FC Minnesota. They have 6 games to go, and Pulido have shown that Sporting Kansas knows how to rally themselves up when they really need to get result. And number 4 is from Atlanta United, Georgios Gakomakis. Yes, 13 goals and 2 assists for the guy. Very, very talented striker. Atlanta next game is at home against Inter Miami on September 16th, and he has 13 goals and 2 assists. Now, number 5 is Christian Espinoza of San Jose Earthquake, 12 goals and 8 assists so far this season. And the Argentine winger is having one of his best seasons here in the MLS since he signed for San Jose from Villarreal in 2019. Espinoza, who is also in the race for the MVP, and his first MLS All-Stars call-up in this year MLS All-Star. So 12 goals, 8 assists. San Jose next game is against Real Salt Lake, and they have 6 games to go. Number 6 is Gabonese striker Denny Bouanga. Denny Bouanga, 12 goals and 6 assists. LAFC are now having a wobbly, shaky form as the season enters the home stretch. Bouanga has broken out in his first full season with the black and gold, and he is pushing for the Golden Boot. And also, he is in the conversation for the MVP award. Denny Bouanga, 12 goals and 6 assists. Then number 7 is Julian Carranza of Philadelphia Union, 12 goals and 4 assists. And their next game is against FC Cincinnati, September 16th. Union have 8 games to go. Breakout season for Julian Carranza, 12 goals and 4 assists. Now, number 8 is Daniel Gazdag. The Hungarian striker is doing it big for Philly Union, 11 goals and 10 assists. And you think that the Union went to the Champions League, that far for nothing. These are the players, when they, come to play for the Union becomes a dangerous team. So Danny Gazdag and Julian, Carranza are representing Philly Union in the race for the MVP. Now, Fagunde Torres of Orlando City Football Club, 11 goals and 4 assists. Can he rack up more goals to challenge for the Golden Boot Award? Now, number 10 is Ryan Gauld, the midfielder of Vancouver Whitecaps, 10 goals and 8 assists. Vancouver have 8 games to go. So these are the 10 top players who are contending for the Golden Boot Award. Now, when we talk about the MVP award, I think I have 3. I think I have Hani Mukhtar, Luciano Acosta, and maybe Denny Bouanga. But who says that a goalkeeper will not be in the conversation for the MVP award? Now, look at Steve Clark of Houston Dynamo. Now, look at Hector Herrera. 13 assists for Dynamo this season. He has not even been mentioned in that conversation. What about Steve Clark? 13 clean sheets. And he is in the race for the Golden Glove Award. So who says that the goalkeeper will not or should not be in that MVP conversation? Story for another day. Yes, still around the MLS with Sam right here on ASN Sports TV. I'll be right back. On Africa Sports. All right, welcome back to the program. This is still around the MLS with Sam Mbon right here on ASN Sports TV. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on all my social media platforms. Yes. Um, yes, follow me on my social media platforms. And now let will always be the one to select the player for the match day. He'll be the one to help in transfers, to bring in players that suit his system. Now look at Houston Dynamo when Ben Olsen came on board. Sebastian Ferrari got 13 goals last season, but he was frozen out because the coach did not see him playing a role in the kind of formation he wants to play. So now let's go to clubs that have fired their coaches. We'll start with Chicago Fire. On May the 8th, they fired Ezra Hendrickson for poor performance. And he was given the red card. You fired. On that same day, the Rebels of New York fired Gerard Struber on May the 8th, and Troy Lesesne took over. Even though they said that they mutually agreed to part ways, I think it was after the issue of that player that I think I forgot that player. I forgot the name of that player that used some racial slur, inappropriate word, against a fellow player, and the way it was handled didn't go down well with the Red Bulls front office, and Gerard Struber paid the price for that. So now, after Red Bulls of New York, followed by Chicago Fire, who fired Ezra Hendrickson. Now, come Toronto Football Club. Sometimes there are coaches you would think that can never get fired. Bob Bradley, a veteran coach here in the MLS and all over the world. But he was fired after Toronto Football Club. We are going through torrid times. June 26th, he was fired as the head coach of Toronto Football Club. The club was passing through a horrible time, so Toronto FC have to let Bob Bradley go. Now here comes Inter Miami. When the conversation that Lionel Messi is about to join the club, and a lot of people were speculating who will be the manager. That do you think that Lionel Messi will play under Phil Neville? Phil Neville, since he arrived here in the MLS with Inter Miami through his best friend David Beckham, he has struggled. So on June the 1st, he was fired, and Tata Martino was appointed coach June 28th, and here comes the Lionel Messi era in Inter Miami. Now let's go to Portland Timbers. Giovanni Savarezza was fired after Houston Dynamo hammered Portland Timbers 5 goals to nothing. I knew that would be the straw to break the camel back in Portland. And he was fired. August 21st, 2023, he was fired. An interim coach, Miles Joseph, is still in the saddle. No head coach has been appointed. So they are operating with interim coach, and they are pushing for a player. Portland Timbers are 11th in the Western Conference, 33 points from 27 games. Now let's move up. Colorado Rapids fired Robin Fraser. September the 5th, Chris Leto is the interim coach. Colorado Rapids are rock bottom in the Western Conference, 19 points from 26 games. They are the poorest team this season in the league in terms of point picked, match won. Just 3 matches they've won. Can you imagine? Just 3 matches they've won this season. And he was fired. Colorado Rapids, Robin Fraser, was given the boot. Now, the biggest news, Bruce Arena, one of the longest serving head coach here in the MLS, has agreed to resign, or he resigned as the coach of New England Revolution. Not because of poor results, because when you look at where the refs are second in the Eastern Conference, 48 points from 27 games. He did not resign because of poor results. He resigned because he was reported to the MLS for the use of inappropriate language, and MLS investigated him, and he chose to resign. Maybe the recommendation to the refs front office might have been either you fire him or something else. and he chose to resign honorably. The biggest news of coaching change here in the MLS is Bruce Arena resigning, and Richie Williams is the interim coach. A new coach is yet to be announced or appointed. Come back to the program. This is still around the MLS with Sam Bono right here on ASN Sports TV. Like I said, follow me on all my social media platforms and subscribe to my YouTube channel because the link is right there. We have a lot of great content on our platform. Go to www.afrocentrictv.com and vote for Sam Mbono as your sports personality of the year. All right, Tom. On this note, we come to the end of this edition of Around the MLS show with Sam right here on ASN Sports TV because week number 31 is in the horizon. After the international break, we'll come back with matches that carries playoff implications. Until then, keep watching ASN Sports TV and have a lovely week ahead. www.africasportsnetwork.com Africa with a K Sports Crazy Network.